This program is brought to you by generous donations from the community and sponsored by Stifel Financial.
All right, good evening, Nevada County. I'm Keith Overby, your host for tonight's edition of Nevada County Now. There are reports that the Butte County Public Health Department is notifying their community about an ongoing norovirus outbreak that originated at an outdoor environmental camp in Nevada County. There have been 3 separate outbreaks at the camp, prompting officials to inform parents and guardians. The camp, Shady Creek Outdoor School and Events Center, which is operated by the Sutter County Office of Education, has taken steps to mitigate the spread of the virus, including enhanced cleaning protocols and isolating sick campers. The school has gone through a deep cleaning and has operated without incidents the last 2 weeks in April. Shady Creek Outdoor School serves over 5,000 students each year from more than 16 counties across California. They've been operating for over 60 years, and they work hard to provide a safe, transformative outdoor education experience. Now, if norovirus does strike your household, please keep in mind that it is highly contagious and can lead to vomiting, diarrhea, and stomach pain. Symptoms typically last 1 to 3 days, but individuals can remain contagious for 48 hours after symptoms cease. Now, while most recover without medical intervention, those at a higher risk for dehydration should take extra precautions. And laboratory tests have confirmed norovirus in 36 individuals at the camp. Now, to prevent the spread of norovirus, it's recommended that you frequently wash your hands with soap and water, stay home when ill, and disinfect surfaces, noting that alcohol-based sanitizers are ineffective against the virus. The Nevada County Public Health Department and Environmental Health are fully engaged with Shady Creek Outdoor School, the Sutter Superintendent of Schools, and public health officials in the impacted jurisdictions. Now don't go away, we'll take a short sponsor break and we'll be right back.
Thank you to Stifel Financial, proudly helping individuals pursue financial goals, businesses and organizations raise and protect capital, and communities offer a higher quality of life. To learn more, visit www.stifel.com.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Now, at a recent Board of Supervisors meeting, they expressed support for a plan to advance regional solutions for the Truckee homelessness problem. Supervisor Hardy Bullock, who represents Truckee, stated that our entire community is responsible for addressing homelessness and that no single entity is responsible, nor can a single jurisdiction or an organization, town, or Nevada County, or a local nonprofit fix or solve it. Now, the Tahoe Truckee Homeless Action Plan was prepared over 18 months as a part of a collaborative community effort. It discusses locations for possible services for those experiencing homelessness, services needed, and timing. The plan also outlines strategies to build a coordinated, sustainable system of support for individuals experiencing homelessness. Now, Ryan Gruver, the director of the Nevada County Health and Human Services Agency, added to the presentation by saying that despite experiencing extreme weather, Truckee currently does not have a winter or year-round homeless shelter or day center. With the board's acceptance of the Tahoe Truckee Homeless Action Plan and the buy-in from stakeholders such as the town of Truckee, we're hopeful that we'll be able to address these critical issues and bring more homeless services to Truckee. Now, Nevada County has made significant investments in behavioral health, public health, social services, and supportive partnerships to meet the needs of the Medi-Cal population in the county for over the past 7 years. And for more information about efforts to address homelessness in Truckee, please visit nevadacountyca.gov website for details. Now, we're going to take another short commercial break. Don't go away. We'll have more to come.
Protecting the environment is more than just a responsibility. It's a way of life. Nevada County Environmental Health is dedicated to safeguarding your health and the beauty of our community. From water safety and waste management to food inspections and disease prevention, we work every day to ensure a cleaner, safer, and healthier future for all. Together, we can preserve Nevada County's natural beauty for generations to come. Visit Nevada County Environmental Health today and learn how we can build a better community together. Nevada County Environmental Health, protecting health, preserving nature, working together for our community.
Welcome back, everybody. This past week, Nevada County received some huge news. The Nevada County Health and Human Services Agency announced a conditional award of $23.7 million through the Behavioral Health Continuum for Infrastructure Program to build a much-needed local psychiatric treatment center aimed at increasing availability of critical mental health services closer to home. And here to tell us all about this project is Ryan Gruver from the County of Nevada. So Ryan, welcome here. Glad to have you here with us. Now, $27.3 million said conditional. What's the conditions, though?
$23.7 million. It's conditioned on the board accepting the grant and further processing at the state, but it means that we were successful in being awarded this important funding for what is a missing piece in our treatment infrastructure in Nevada County.
Okay. And just so people understand a grant, you submit this grant, you say we're going to do A, B, C, D, E, F, whatever, and that's part of the conditions is that you do spend the money on that. That's the way grants work, right?
Absolutely. It's restricted funding.
Now, exactly what are you going to be building? I saw something in the paper about it, but I'll let you explain it. How's that?
Sure. So what we're going to be building is basically a locked psychiatric hospital. So it's a facility that's going to be located on the Eric Rood Administrative Center campus. It'll have 16 beds that include treatment for what's called a psychiatric health facility, known in county terms as a PUF by the acronym, as well as 8 beds of mental health rehabilitation center. And so that's for acute psychiatric needs and subacute psychiatric needs. So somebody who's in a mental health crisis in our community, if that crisis puts them at danger to themselves or others, then they could have what's called in California a 5150. That's where they're involuntarily confined. Typically, they land in the emergency department of the hospital to either be stabilized or if they needed a more acute level of care to be placed in a psychiatric health facility. And right now, Nevada County has no beds of psychiatric health facility within our community. And so that means that people are being placed out of county, sometimes significant distances. So in addition to the trauma of going through a mental health crisis, they're also experiencing the further trauma of being removed from their community and away from their family, which are important networks of support for people in that situation. So we're really excited to have this opportunity to bring that service into our community.
Now, when you talked about the 5150, that's a common term. That's a Welfare and Institutions Code section, I think, isn't it?
Absolutely correct, such that when somebody's a danger to themselves or others, they can be involuntarily confined.
Okay, and is there a limit on how long they can be confined?
Yes, when somebody's confined under that code section, they can be confined for 3 days. And during that time, they're either stabilized in place and able to be returned home with a safety plan or to a lower level of care, such as the crisis stabilization unit that we have adjacent to the hospital emergency department for further stabilization. Or if they need further treatment, they can be sent to a psychiatric health facility. That can range anywhere from a couple days to as long as 30 days. And there's a court process for renewing that if it's still needed treatment, since you are taking somebody's rights away to confine them and treat them, sometimes involuntarily.
That's one thing I was going to ask is how long, if somebody could be kept longer than the 3 days, if needed.
Yeah, not to get too far into welfare and institutions.
That's the court that decides that. I understand. This facility you're going to build now, this is so you don't have to send people to Auburn, Sacramento, Yuba City, Marysville, whatever. For that, I don't know if they even have that kind of treatment in Yuba City, Marysville, or Auburn, for example, but I'm assuming they do. And what exactly kind of services would you provide to people there? Will you have doctors? I guess will you have what kind of staffing will you have there?
Yeah, it'll be intensive staffing 24/7. You're right that we do send people to Auburn currently and further afield, including Yuba County and other adjacent counties. The treatment that you receive when you go to a psychiatric health facility is intensive, around-the-clock treatment. You have mental health professionals who can help with stabilization through medication, as well as other forms of treatment at that site. And on the psychiatric health facility side, those 8 beds, that is more intensive treatment over a short period. Again, trying to stabilize somebody so that they can be returned home with a safety plan or go to that next level of care. And the innovative thing about our project is, in addition to those 8 beds of psychiatric health facility treatment, there's a mental health rehabilitation center component. So 8 additional beds where people can stay for longer if they need a longer term treatment in order to stabilize for up to a year or even more in certain cases.
Now, this is going to be built out by the Root Center, correct?
Correct.
On the where exactly at? Is it next to the jail there, or is it when you first come in? There's that big open lot areas there.
Yeah,
it's
the parcel adjacent to the jail. Right now, there's a garden on one half of that.
It's kind of the one that's in the back, kind of.
Back behind that.
Okay.
Behind the garden is where it will be constructed, and so it's part of the Rood campus. It is. It's not connected to the jail or a part of the jail, but the proximity to law enforcement certainly is advantageous if that's needed. Sometimes people do have to either go to the ER or they may be in jail, and people can bottleneck because we don't have beds available in other communities. And so being able to have this resource local will allow us to get people out of inappropriate types of care and into the care that they need.
Well, it's great that we're getting services like that up here. Let me ask you this: 23.7, that's to build the facility. Is that also to run it for a period of time, or is that going to have money? Where's that money going to come to operate?
So that money is for the construction of the facility. The initial construction estimates are lower than that, but the grant is to give us space to complete the project. The ongoing operating costs are separate from that, and I should note that we currently are mandated to or required to provide this level of care. We just send those dollars out of the community, and so by being able to serve people locally, we'll be able to redirect those dollars to that local treatment, and so that's part of how we pay for it, is just using what we already spend out of county in Nevada County. Additionally, these are services that are billable under Medicaid. The people that we would place in these types of facilities are typically on Medi-Cal, which is California's version of Medicaid, and so we would be billing the federal government for part of that treatment, and then additional behavioral health dollars would help to operate it. So that grant is just for the construction. It is a really intensive type of facility. It's basically a secure hospital facility.
Now let me ask you, compared to having to send somebody to Auburn, compared to keeping them here at home, is that going to be also a savings to the county?
Yes, running the facility, I mean, it's not cheap to run a facility like this, but when we're looking at the dollars that are being spent, sending people out of county, being able to bring those local, as well as the additional dollars we would pull down, we have analysis in terms of how that compares to current expenditures, and a lot depends on the rates we get for services, like how that pencils and how many people are in the facility and different levels of care. So there's a lot that goes into whether that is break even or it's an additional investment, but where it is an additional investment of new county behavioral health dollars, it's an intentional investment in a critical missing piece of our system.
Okay. So as of right now, traditionally, the county, quote unquote, has not accepted the $23.7 million, but that will be coming up, I assume, on a very soon on a Board of Supervisors agenda. If they immediately approve it and accept it, when do you look at starting to break ground and building this structure?
Yeah, the state is very eager to get these dollars spent and this infrastructure built. So Proposition 1 passed by the voters in March of 2024 is what funds this program. And that aggressive timeline anticipates us commencing construction in December or towards the fall of this year, and completion of the construction by December of 2026. So that's a really ambitious timeline for construction on this scale.
18 months maybe.
Correct, and it could take longer than that. Like, we obviously anticipate that things can change and timelines can shift.
Right?
Sure, you never know what's going to happen.
You see. So, okay. Well, I appreciate it. Is there anything else you could tell me about this?
Just how excited we are to have this infrastructure in our community. We've known for many, many years that this was a major gap. We, and a lot of counties our size, and especially in our region, are underserved in terms of the number of beds available for this type of treatment. But it was really this combination of this funding opportunity, as well as the creativity of our team, to come up with an innovative model that will work in a small county and that we think we can sustain. And really want to give a lot of credit to Phoebe Bell, our behavioral health director, Ariel Lovett, our Chief Fiscal Administrative Officer for HHSA, and the foresight of our Board of Supervisors. We had an ad hoc committee focused on behavioral health investments, composed of Supervisor Bullock and Hall. And when we started that process, we didn't think a project like this would be possible. And through that process and through the creative work, we're able to bring this to bear. And I'm really excited to be able to expand our level of care for Nevada County residents.
Now, you said that a lot of the other smaller counties in Northern California don't. What other counties are lacking these facilities? For example, does Butte have such a facility? Butte County.
I'm not aware of whether Butte County does, but many counties, I believe they don't. Many counties in our region have 0 beds of this type of care. There's actually a map in the presentation that last went to our board where you can see which counties have treatment beds and which don't. Placer County, which is 4 times our size, has 16 beds. So Nevada County will have 8 beds with the addition of this. And most of the counties to our north, with the exception of the larger counties like Shasta, have 0 beds or a small number of
now,
beds.
will you be accepting out-of-county clients also from
Yes.
other counties? Will they be, like you're right now going to Placer, will you get folks from Butte or Sierra or Yuba Sutter, whatever? Will they be possibly coming over here to put their clients here, or to get their clients treatment, I should say?
Yeah, that was part of our application. When the state announced these awards, they announced that this would be a project that would serve 6 counties. So we have 5 other counties that signed letters of support and are interested in potentially sending people if we can't fill those beds. Our top priority would be Nevada County residents getting those beds. And we have built at a level, or applied at a level, where we think we can fill it with local, based on local need. But in the event that there are empty beds, we would attempt to fill those by partnering with neighboring jurisdictions.
What neighboring jurisdictions are supporting you?
Sierra County, Plumas County. I won't be able to rattle off the other 3
if you give me a
off the top of my
rough
head.
idea. Now, are you required? Let me ask you this. Unfortunately, there are mental health issues out there. If the inn is full, so to speak, is there anything that says you have to keep certain, kind of hold back a couple of beds for Nevada County residents, or room for Nevada County residents? Is there a requirement in that respect that, let's say, Plumas County, Butte County, whoever sent 3 or 4 patients, everything's kind of full with out-of-county patients, and we have someone here who needs that service? Is there a requirement that you keep? And I kind of, to draw an analogy, for example, small rural hospitals in their emergency rooms, they're required to have 2 beds in the emergency room. In case they got one full, they got another one, even though sometimes they don't get any emergency calls in places like, say, Alturas or something like that. But are you required to make sure there's space for the Nevada County residents?
So we're not required to make sure that there's space for Nevada County residents. And really, from a fiscal perspective, I would want to make sure that we're filling every bed whenever we can, so that we can be billing for that. But I will say that, especially on the psychiatric health facility side, those people who are in those are short-term stayers. It can be anywhere from 3 days to 30 days, and so people are cycling through, and so it's not an issue where
there's
you have
a turnover.
Correct. And then we do have, because we have this sort of innovative model of both being a psychiatric health facility and a mental health rehabilitation center, we have the ability to flex between those two levels of care. So if we need an extra bed of psychiatric health facility and we have one available on the MHRC side, we're able to do an extra bed of psychiatric health facility.
Was there anything else that you want to share with us about it?
No, I think that about covers it. So
All right.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to take a short commercial break right now, and don't go away because we've got another guest and more to come.
In the heart of California's Sierra Nevada foothills, Nevada County isn't just a place to live, it's a community to thrive in. At the Nevada County Economic Resource Council, we're committed to supporting our local businesses, fostering innovation, and creating opportunities for entrepreneurs to grow. Whether you're starting a new venture or expanding an existing one, the Nevada County ERC provides the resources, guidance, and connections you need to succeed. Your success, our mission. Join us today and be a part of Nevada County's bright future. Visit ncerc.org and let's grow together.
Are you looking for a unique hands-on experience for your group? Nevada County Media offers field trips for all ages that inspire creativity and curiosity. Explore the world of media production. Learn about live production, animation, podcasting, and more. Our field trips are perfect for schools, clubs, friend groups, or organizations who want to have fun learning new skills while learning teamwork. Schedule your field trip today by visiting nevadacountymedia.org. Discover, create, and have fun with Nevada County Media.
If you are dining outside at a restaurant and someone is smoking a cigarette or using an electronic smoking device, you are being exposed to secondhand smoke. But what if you're in your own home and a neighbor's smoke is drifting in? Every person should have the right to live in a smoke-free environment to protect their health and the health of their family.
I live in an apartment and my son was coughing more than usual. I realized it was because our neighbor's smoke was affecting him. I tried putting a wet towel under the door and I asked the neighbor to please not smoke inside. He smokes outside sometimes, but the smoke still comes in. I'm really worried about my son's health.
People in our community are facing this problem every day. Often the residents affected live in apartments, condos, or other multi-unit spaces. Many people are unaware that all secondhand smoke is dangerous. This includes smoke from vapes, hookahs, and cannabis too. Take action today to help protect some of our most vulnerable community members from the dangers of secondhand smoke. Let's make living smoke-free an option for all Nevada County residents. Go to smilenevadacounty.com to share your story, get involved, or to find ways to quit. The Nevada County Tobacco Prevention Program is here to help.
All right, welcome back, Nevada County. Each year, the Nevada County Economic Resource Council puts together a bus tour of the county. It's an exciting day full of visiting various businesses, and this year, Nevada County Media joined them. Our intrepid cameraman, Dave Castaneda, was there. And here to tell us all about the project is Executive Director of the ERC, Gil Matthews. Gil, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Glad you're here.
Glad to be here.
Let's see, when this tour was just not too long ago, was it?
It was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, okay. And Dave didn't cause any problems for you.
Dave did not cause any problems. He was there. He was a great servant. He did a lot of photography work for us.
Oh, there you go. All righty. Okay, well, can you tell me how long have you been doing these bus tours? It seems like it's been since I've been in Nevada County, and I've been here now going on 22 years, or over 22 years, going on 23 years, and you've been doing them that long, I think.
Well, it's kind of been two parts. We started it, first of all, in 2009.
Okay.
When I was with the ERC the first time. And I built that project out. We did it for 3 years then. I left the ERC to pursue some other interests, and they did it in a virtual sense for a few years, and then it evaporated. But when I came back to the ERC in 2020, I said, I want to bring back Tour of Nevada County. And they said, sure. So this is our 4th year of it.
All right. And what kind of businesses do you visit?
Well, we've a wide variety, but because we're about economic development, we try to visit companies that are producing products or services that get exported out of the county and importing wealth. So those are the kinds. Now, we don't always just do all of those, but companies like Zap Manufacturing, that is a huge manufacturer of freeway signs,
Really?
exports all over the western United States, and brings in a tremendous amount of wealth and does employment here. So those are the kinds of companies that we like to go to. So this year we went to Zap Manufacturing. We also had a really interesting visit with Robinson Enterprises.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all of us knew Robinson as the timber people,
Mm-hmm.
and the timber industry's gone away. And they had to make a pivot. They did a tremendous pivot, and now they're involved in a whole bunch of things like fuel services and emergency responses. And so they've changed all of their operating characteristics to this new environment that they find themselves in. And they just did a fabulous presentation on the tour day.
All right, terrific. Well, who else did you visit that day?
Well, we visited the new Grass Valley RV Resort off of McCourtney Road across from the
That
fairgrounds.
place does look beautiful.
It is. It's a tremendous. People don't realize what an asset it is, because from an economic development standpoint, what we see is we see a lot of people from out of the area coming here, bringing their wealth, parking their RV out there, going into town, shopping, eating out, going to performances. So it's a tremendous economic driver in the community. They have 148 spaces out there, and very close to filling it every weekend. So yeah, that was another great one. And then of course we went to a very interesting one. Doesn't export a lot, but that is Grass Valley Provisions, the cannabis dispensary in Grass Valley. A fabulous facility where they took a building and totally revamped it to serve their purposes, did a great upgrade on that. And so we were able to tour that and learn a little bit about the cannabis industry. And then from there, we went to an interesting place. And we tried to put one little fun spot in each one of them. And our fun spot this year was a place called Unit J. Now, you haven't heard of Unit J?
That's a new one. No, I haven't.
Unit J is housed on the backside of the Nevada City SPD, down below where the brewery used to be.
Oh, yes. Okay.
And they turned it into a private social club. And it's quirky, it's campy, it's a total delight in there. Pinball machines and speakeasy telephone booths and just a variety of things. But it's a private social club here in Nevada County.
You have to have a membership to get in.
You have to have a membership to get in. They're only open on Fridays and Saturdays, except for special events. So that was a very interesting stop for that part of the trip.
So you could rent the place out for a birthday party, something like that, for a kid's birthday party or something?
Jason Foyer, one of our board members who was on the tour, when he was there, he signed up on the spot, said, I'm going to have my company Christmas party here next year.
There you go.
So it was a great spot for that.
And when you said social club, it reminded me there was an old movie with Henry Fonda and Jimmy Stewart called The Cheyenne Social Club.
Yes.
Remember that? The guy inherited a social club and he come to find out it was a brothel. But I don't think that's what's happening. No, but I mean, it just that movie popped in my head. Well, I was gonna ask you, what about our the wineries? There's quite a few wineries. Did you visit any of them by any chance this time?
No, we didn't. And wineries represent a bit of a challenge for us because they tend to be fairly remote.
Okay.
So what we do is we bring in 3 high-end tour buses, and we load up 33 people on a bus, and they all disperse out because every venue can't handle more than about 30 people.
Yeah.
So we have to limit that. But to travel 20 or 30 minutes to someplace, do a presentation and drive back, we just don't have enough time for that.
I didn't know if you were hitting some of the ones. I know there's 2 or 3 in Grass Valley. There's 2 or 3 in Nevada City also.
We're looking at one for next year maybe Star Wineries or somebody that's close in.
Right.
But you have to be able to get one of those huge tour buses in there.
Give it a place to park. That's
Yeah.
a big thing, sure.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. You said you had you had like 100 people.
We did.
Who went on this tour? Who are the people that went on this tour?
We traditionally get a fair amount of people from the county and from the electeds from the cities because they have a high interest in what's happening. The subtitle of the day is called The Economic Engine Behind the Manzanita Curtain, because these are businesses that people don't get to see. They don't get to understand how they work. And you get an opportunity to go behind that curtain and see how they work. So we get a fair amount of electeds and government officials that are on the trip. We get a lot of realtors, insurance people, and just the population. A fair amount of retired people go on the tour.
Okay.
So it's a great day. This year we had a real treat. We were able to stop, and have lunch at Bodie Hive. And if you've been there, that's such a fascinating experience there.
Let me ask you this: Have you put it out to invite, say, a city council person from Yuba City or a city council person from Sacramento or something, to hopefully they will take the word back to their counties and say, hey, at the end of the Highway 49 cul-de-sac, there's something going on here,
We have a little bit, but not a lot, because the tour sells out now.
Okay.
And so we want to preserve for Nevada County people.
Okay.
Although we do invite some nationally elected people or statewide offices. So we invited Kevin Kiley. He didn't make it this year, but he was on the invitation list. And those people's associates and staff people come on the tour so they can keep their finger on what's happening in Nevada County.
I was going to ask if they sent maybe a staff person or something.
Yeah.
I was hoping so. And you also do that for the assembly, the state assembly and the state senate.
Yeah, Megan Dolly's assistant was here for the tour.
Oh, good. And you said, now when you said electeds, I want to make sure people understand that's like the city council, the board of supervisors.
Correct.
From our city. Well, they're the only elected people from our cities. We don't have officers that are elected, except for the sheriff and stuff like that at the county. So are you looking to expand it?
If we did, we'd have to bring another bus in. The buses are very expensive. Each bus costs us almost $3,000 for the day.
Yeah.
And so right now we're at a pretty good level, because also wherever you begin and end and have lunch has to accommodate maybe 100 cars. So that becomes a point. One of the places we've been looking at is the new event center up on Whispering Pines, right up the road here.
Oh, it's being built by Music and In Concert Sierra.
In Concert Sierra. Yeah. And for 2 years they've said, well, when you do the tour, you can use ours as this facility, but they're late on their construction. So we're hoping that next year they'll be ready for us.
All right.
Because they'll have the parking and they'll have the place where we can do lunch for 100 people.
Oh, excellent. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
It's good to promote Nevada County, because I know that I mentioned the Highway 49 cul-de-sac. That's kind of, when I first came up here, that was kind of a joke among everybody. We live at the end of the Highway 49 cul-de-sac. Even though 49 goes further north, it does get a little sparse population going up through there.
Yes, absolutely.
As far as being more of a rural area and no cities. That's why I made that comment. Anything else you can tell me about it that you want to share with us?
Well, the tour is...
That I haven't asked you about.
Okay. Somebody asked me, well, why should I go on the tour? And I said, well, if for no other reason, you can be proud of your county. You can see some things going on here that you just didn't realize. Zap Manufacturing is a classic example. Their reach is in Arizona, Nevada, Oregon, these major freeway signs that he manufactures there.
Like the digital ones?
No,
or
the static.
Just the
green
static
ones.
Interstate 80, Sacramento, the big green ones. They build those. Huh?
So you have an opportunity to see behind that Manzanita curtain and see some pretty exciting things. And one of the interesting ones is last year, my wife wanted to go on the tour, and she said, where are we going to visit? And I said, well, one of the places we're going, I listed them off. I said, we're going to go to Geologics. And she said, Geologic, what's that? I said, well, they're a soils engineer. And she said, Oh, great. I'll be excited for that. She goes on the tour. She comes back. I said, how was the tour? She said, you can't believe geologics. That's fascinating. Do you know how far afield they go with their work? South America. And so those are the kinds, that's the value you get out of it, is get to see things you would never see any other way.
Well, it's good. It's good to know that you're promoting it, that, as people always say, all of our income goes down the hill. It's glad to see that there's some coming up the hill also.
Yeah. In
addition, just roughly, what do you think the percentage going down the hill, coming up, kind of where are we at? 50-50, 60-40 somewhere? I don't know.
I don't want to quote a number, because if you quote it and it's wrong,
yeah,
you're going to wear that forever. We do know that there's a lot of slippage that's been measured over time. And just one example, of all the food that we consume in Nevada County, only 3% of it is grown here. So all of that food money goes out of town at some point. So that's a leakage that concerns us. We want to improve that percentage if at all possible. But we do know that there's a lot of money that goes down the hill, and every year we try to make that a little bit smaller.
Sure. Yeah. Well, just if you look at the grocery stores, you've got Rayleigh's, Save Mart, and Safeway, 4 stores, major stores, and you've got only SPD local, as far as being local.
Yeah.
Locally owned, I should say.
Right.
So, kind of outnumbered 4-1, so to speak.
It is.
Well, SPD's got 2 stores, but anyway. Anything else you want to share?
Well, the tour will happen again next year.
When will it happen?
Last Thursday in April.
Okay.
So you can put it on your calendar.
Everybody circle your calendar right now.
Right now. The last Thursday in April, we'll be doing it again, and we've already started to line up next year's spots. So we're looking at going to Alpine Aviation. Interesting one. Going to Modus in Penn Valley. They're a metal fabricator that probably nobody knows about, but doing very interesting research work down there. We'll be going to perhaps Casey Wood and to a place called Box Power.
Okay.
So we're already starting to build the tour for next year.
So, we got Grass Valley and Nevada City, but you're also branching out to surrounding communities, to Penn Valley,
right?
On I don't know where else, Chicago Park or whatever, out that direction.
Not much going on out in Chicago Park, other than the Montalivet Winery as a possibility this year. I'm not sure we can get in there with a bus.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a small road. Yeah. You're right, for one of those big things. All right. Well, anyway, thank you, Gil, for coming in.
Thanks for having me here, Keith. Always good to see you.
Yeah, well, we got the same barber,
That's right.
So, God. Anyway, okay, folks, thank you for watching this edition of Nevada County Now. If you'd like to help contribute or write stories, appear on a show, or even become a host, and if I can do it, anyone can, please check out the details on our website at nevadacountymedia.org/NCN. This program is local news and information brought to you by local residents. So now remember to stay safe, take care of each other, and get out there and explore all this community has to offer. You probably learned some new stuff today from Gil to go explore. All right, thank you very much. Good night now.
Good morning. I'm Gil Mathew, the Executive Director for the Economic Resource Council of Nevada County, and today we're doing the tour of Nevada County. 3 big high-end tour buses, loading up 30 people per bus. We're going to visit 5 really exciting companies today, and they're going to get to see the economic engine behind the Manzanita curtain. One of the big buses is just arriving now, so today we'll have 100 people from the community. We'll have realtors, we'll have city and county government, we'll have a variety of people who just want to come and see. They've heard about the tour. This is our 4th year that we've done the tour, and we load up the high-end tour buses and tour 5 economic engines that we call behind the Manzanita curtain.